Today we are going to be talking about a controller company that I think needs a little bit more light shined on. No, obviously it's not Scuff, it's not Hex, it's not Cinch, it's not Battle Beaver, it's not any of those brands. The brand that we are talking about in this video is Nagashock Gaming. Now yes, you probably have not heard them before, but for the basis of this video, they did send out this controller for me. This is not sponsored, so I am allowed to review it basically however I want, give my honest opinion, honest feedback, because that's what they're looking for this company. So what makes Nagashock a different company than all these other companies out there trying to sell you a controller? Let me give you a little bit of a spiel about it. So with the little meeting I had with them, it's basically just a group of engineers that came together that wanted to build the perfect controller, and I think they have nearly done that. So with the controller that they sent me, it's a PS5, their Midnight Black version. So what comes with this controller, or what did it come with? Your standard controller, joysticks and everything are here. I have a certificate of authenticity of everything that it came with. We got a couple back buttons. We have mouse click triggers and bumpers. They took out the rumbles. The microphone was removed, and everything else on this version is pretty standard, but we're gonna eventually go over everything that you can also include with this. The build quality itself, it's very nice, it's pristine. The rumbles and everything were taken out, so it's 10 times lighter than the other controllers that I will be comparing this to. My main controller at the moment is the PS5 DualSense Edge. We'll also be sort of comparing it to a Hex Gaming PS5 controller, and I'll go over my thoughts and everything on Scuff. I actually got rid of all of my Scuff controllers because I could not stand them. All right, so let's first talk about the mouse click triggers and bumpers. As you can see, there's virtually no movement downwards as far as how far you have to pull for them to be used. Very, very premium feel, very, very premium, and just very satisfying mouse click triggers. I do enjoy that. Compared to the Hex Gaming, they're pretty similar. The Hex Gaming ones you have to push down a little bit further. On the PS5 DualSense Edge, there are none. So you gotta these trigger stops go down quite a lot, and on this one, it's very minimal. You can barely even see it. Let's give a quick look at the back buttons. With my little meeting with them, I was very surprised, and you'll see on their website as well, how many different back buttons you can place on this controller. It's totally up to you. I just went standard. I don't need anything crazy. I love the buttons on the back. It's literally right as I'm gripping the controller, they rest right where my middle fingers are. And when I'm gaming and moving, it's literally secondhand nature. It's not uncomfortable. I've used this controller total now for probably eight hours or so. And in my gaming sessions, I usually game like 2-ish hours at a time, 2.5. I don't feel any sort of fatigue. I don't feel anything like that. Compared to the Hex Gaming, these suck. I'm just gonna leave it there. I was a fan at first. These are no good. The PS5 DualSense Edge buttons, I don't have them currently on my controller because they were nice. You just have to have your middle fingers up slightly more. They have other options too, but I like the buttons. I like the buttons on the Nagashock controller 1000%. And what I was saying before, all the different things you can do button wise, you can place them anywhere along the side here. You can have them medium, you can have them up top, you can have them down low. They told me you can have them on the sides. They said you can have one on the faceplate if you want. You can literally have these buttons anywhere. The engineers there, they know what they're doing when constructing the buttons. They work very well. I highly recommend getting those. Now let's talk about the joysticks. Now the joysticks on the version that I got are just basic. They're default. There's nothing added to them. You can't take the tops off. They're not extended. They're not lowered. I'm an FPS player. I love playing Apex Legends, Call of Duty here and there. I felt the need to, since going from my main controller, the Edge, going to the Nagashock, I had to slightly increase my sensitivity in game because I felt like my right stick it seemed normal when I'm moving it to the right. When I'm moving it to the left, it feels slightly like more stiff. So I was a little bit less accurate. I was a little bit less consistent. But after I got used to it, by all means, it didn't hinder me at all. It was just weird that I had to kind of switch my sensitivity going from one controller to the other. These are worse than all the other ones as far as the sticks. They're sticky. They feel like there's a dead zone in it at all times. Hex, like they started out good in my opinion, but I'm not a huge fan anymore. If I'm being completely honest, I have to give the edge to the DualSense Edge, no pun intended, when it comes to the joysticks. Now, I guess the last little thing to talk about with the controller itself, in my experience, stick drift. Brand new controller. I play on like a linear sensitivity, so there's always going to, which that means it's a complete raw input. It gets rid of any sort of dead zone ever. So I'm always going to have a little bit of stick drift. But I have less stick drift on this controller than I do my main controller, so that is a positive thing. At the time of this video, they are updating their website, so I'm going to include a little bit of compare and contrast now, and then also show you their updated website. Okay, so just to give you a compare and contrast between some other companies out there, we've got Nagashock, we have Scuff, we have Battle Beaver, and we have Hex Gaming. So if you were to go on and just get a pretty standard controller from Nagashock, you got yourself a cool design, you got yourself the mouse click triggers, the mouse click bumpers, you got 2 buttons on the back, and you throw that in your car, you're looking at $196.98. I know controllers these days, they're a little bit more expensive, but where these guys shine, it comes with their build quality, I will say, because they are engineers and they take this stuff pretty seriously. And it also comes down to their build time. Standard, if you don't want to pay anything extra for standard, you're looking at like a week to get the controller, which is pretty standard. But if you want to bring that build time up, you put an extra 25 bucks down, you'll get it in 3 days. I got mine in like 2.5 days. That's pretty good there. You're looking at under $200 or around the $200 mark. Pay a little bit extra, you get it quicker. Now, if you were to go to Scuff, I've used this controller like a month and a half ago, and I got rid of it after 3 days. This is their Reflex for $200, and it took almost 2 weeks to get to my house. I built roughly the same controller on Scuff that you just looked at on Nagashock. It's giving yourself a little paint job. You got the buttons all one color. You got your mouse clicks. You got your instant triggers and everything. Some buttons on the back. Not only are you looking at $100 more, you're looking at the time of this video, 9 days from now, it would ship for $13. Or if you want it 4 days earlier, then you would pay the same price as Nagashock, so you're looking at $320, $330. Oh, Scuff is pretty high on my books. Let's take a look at another big brand out there, Battle Beaver. I've actually heard good things about their controllers. I'm not going to say anything bad about the controllers, but when it comes to, again, this is like the same thing. You got a little bit of a design on your controller, you got the back buttons, you got the instant triggers, you got the buttons all the same. You're looking at $279. Estimated build time 4 to 6 days. That's just build time, and then you got your shipping as well. So again, you're probably looking at a little bit over $300 there. Just saying. Don't have anything bad to say about the controllers, but I'm just talking about like build time and price and everything. And then if we move on over to Hex, again, if I had to rank all these controllers, they're right down there with Scuff as far as how good they actually are. You're looking at $200, but you're getting a controller with less quality, in my opinion. I have a Hex Gaming controller right here, like I said, and I think you would get this in like a week or so. So it's completely up to you at the end of the day. So they just updated the website too, as you can see here, and we're going to quickly go over everything that you're looking at. Basically, you can see Just some of their custom controllers that they have pre-made for you already, absolutely insane. They just added Xbox controllers. They weren't really doing that previously, but now you can build your own. You can get a pre-made Xbox controller. You can get pre-made PS4 controllers. Some of their hand-built controllers, or hand-built that they already have, are some of the coolest designs that I have actually ever seen on a controller. Like I said, if you're not in the mood to build your own controller, you just want something simple with some back buttons and some click triggers, they have that right here for you. Plenty of color options. But if you are interested in building your own controller, let's go over very quickly a lot of the stuff that you can do. Obviously, you can change whatever color you want on the front. If you want regular soft touch, if you want a little bit of a cooler design, you can change the thumbstick colors, the D-pad colors, every button controller color. All the different color options and customization is there for you. If you want the digital mouse click triggers, buttons, it's all there for you as well. They've introduced some new thumbstick tension, and it's definitely caught my eye. If you want decreased tension, if you want lighter tension, if you want increased tension, if you want insane tension, it's all fully customizable to you, to your certain play style. We talked about it before a little bit, the back buttons. Look at all these options for back buttons on where you want them placed. You want them right, low, low. You want them right. You want them mid. You can have all these buttons on the back of the controller if you want, and in so many different places. It truly is up to you. And if you're someone that doesn't like the rumbles in or the microphone out, whatever you need, those can be taken out as well. So yeah, this website has been fully revamped. It's super easy to navigate around, and customize a controller has never been easier. So at the end of the day, Nagashock Gaming, should you try their controllers out? 100% honesty, I do believe they're a good controller. You can have so much different customization. It's always totally up to you. The people behind the controllers are engineers. If you want to check out Nagashock Gaming, I will leave their information in the description box down below. Once again, thank you to them for sending this out to me to be able to review. 100% honesty, I'm not being paid for this. I'm not being sponsored for this. So this is completely all my thoughts and opinions. I'm just a random gamer giving my gamer review. I'm not a tech guru. So if you want a more professional review, maybe go somewhere else. From a gamer himself, this is my honest review of the controller. It's very nice. There's a couple things here and there, like I said already, as far as what I prefer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Again, links and everything are going to be in the description box down below. If you are interested, check them out. And see you guys in the next video.